Good morning, guys. It rained this morning, and it's probably going to keep raining this afternoon, so I thought I'd come out now during a little break and show you around the garden. We'll just do a quick tour. I can catch up to date on some crazy stuff that's growing. Look at the lettuce over here. So it's all filling in really nicely. Lots of lovely heads in there. I love when lettuce looks like this. It's like a carpet of lettuce. And then let's go over and look at these climbing beans. So last week I was worried. I was like, I'm gonna have to put a string in and like string it up. So we did. It goes all the way up to the roof. There's just like little hooks up there, little brass hooks, if you can see them. And then we just ran green string down. And look, they're finding it. And this is the Sunset Runner. Look at the color of the blooms on this, you guys. So pretty. Isn't that nice? So that is the Sunset Runner bean. We've got eggplants down below it, and they're looking lovely. I had some new asparagus shoots show up this week. So this is how they start, you guys, just a little spindly guy, and then they go into a fern, and you want to leave them and let them become fern, because that is what's going to regenerate the roots and give you more for next year. So I have 4 asparagus, which is cool. I'm happy with that. This is French tarragon. Kind of has like a licorice flavor. Never really grown it before, but yeah, it's good. Beans that I put in from seed are germinating. Got some true leaves in there. All right, let's go around here. So I'm gonna stand on this side, I think. Blackcoat runner beans, have found their way all the way up. In some cases, past the roof. Look at that. It's like dangling. I think what I'm gonna do though is go in and nip the top off, and that should encourage side growth. And then the one beside it has white flowers. So you guys, I do believe that this is the Tarbus bean, the elusive French Tarbus bean. It's not really elusive, I'm being dramatic. Tomatoes down at the bottom. These are indeterminate, called like potato leaf. See how their leaves look more like potatoes, whereas the ones over here look a little more pointy. So these ones will continue growing up the trellis, and those ones will kind of do their life cycle and finish. Another little carpet of lettuce down here. And I do have broccoli. So I've put in broccoli, purple sprouting broccoli, 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 broccoli. And speaking of broccoli, let me go show you the one that I've got in the garden bed over here. Okay, we're going to see the broccoli. Let's go. Can you see it? Can you see it already? Hello. So I will be cutting that guy probably today. I'll have it for dinner. Look at that. See, the head's still nice and tight. You want to get it before you start seeing, well, there's almost hints of yellow in there. And if you're seeing yellow, that means the head's starting to flower. So you want to get it before that happens. So that's great. First broccoli of the season. Got some nasturtium flowers down here and a nice yellowy orange one. So that's very pretty. And the onions are starting to bulk up in there. So that's great. We've got another little broccoli in the corner. Our carrots are looking lush. Potatoes. Look at all these potato flowers, you guys. Everything's flowering. So that is exciting. Last year it was the beginning of June, before I got my potatoes flowered. So this is great. All right, so look at the red on these, you guys. There are so many blooms on these runner beans. I just haven't seen pollinators on them, so I'm a bit concerned because beans need a bee to pollinate them. I mean, I could probably try it with a paintbrush, but I don't think I'd be as effective as a bumblebee. Okay, look at this. Let me scroll down. That is the Dilectica squash. Never grown it before, never eaten it before, but it's looking healthy. And then over here are 2 spaghetti squash. So there, see the little curlicues in there? Look at that. They found the trellis and they're climbing their way up. See that? Okay, so I did grow them here last year, and the plan is to have them grow all the way up to the top, and they did last year. It's raining again out there, so we just nipped into the garden shed for a bit. I'll hide out here for a couple of minutes. I've got some like seed stuff I want to do, but then I want to take you over to the side of the driveway where all the tomatoes and basil are, because my tomato plants, you guys, are insane. Like, the stems on them are huge. They've got so much fruit on them, or potential fruit. I mean, there's like little baby fruits, there's bigger fruits, there's like a zillion flowers. So I really want to show you guys that, because like I thought they would grow better over there because it's warm, and like I knew I could keep up the moisture and that the soil would be good, but holy crap, guys, they are growing like craziness over there. Okay, their stems and stuff are just like meaty, like so big, and we've got so much potential fruit on them. There's a big one down here. Let me move this leaf for you. So that's the Paul Robeson. This is the Black Krim. So I've got 2 big ones here and here. There's more forming. There's more up top. And typically these Black Krim tomatoes, guys, get really big. Like, look at this. So you've got like tomato, and then like all these blooms. It's nuts to me how prolific these tomato plants are. Look at these, they're so beautiful. They're little clusters. Like, how freaking perfect are those guys? So this is the Black Vernissage, I believe. So yeah, they're gonna turn slightly red and they'll have those little green streaks in them. So I'm guessing if we get some warm weather again, maybe a week, and these guys are gonna start turning, we'll be eating them, which is cool. Yeah, picked a bunch of basil down here. You gotta keep picking it so it doesn't go to seed on you, which actually, there are kind of like little tiny seed heads in there. This is the Moneymaker tomato, and there's fruit on that guy too, like all over the place. Just nuts, these tomatoes. I'm so pleased with them. The shishito peppers, also, look at lots of peppers on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, just on one plant. And I'm picking them now while they're still fairly young because I want to encourage it to keep producing. So there's a bunch on this plant too. 1, 2, 3, bunch on that plant. Lots of flowers. So that's the shishito peppers. The Jimmy Nardellos, they've got peppers, little green guys. So these will get quite long, and eventually if I leave them, they'll turn red. So I will do that eventually, but I have been just picking them green. Jalapenos. So yeah, there's some peppers in there. They're still kind of tiny, so we'll let them develop a little more. And the little cute, this guy gets like super tiny peppers on it, but there are, it's really hard to see in this because it's like overcast and wet, but there are like super tiny little flower heads in there. Yeah, so really pleased, really pleased with these tomatoes. I think it's kind of all the updates for now. Got our Mizuna and kales, the random potatoes that I didn't know I missed last year. Peppers, they're filling in. These guys were little sticks, if you remember. They got frost burnt, but now look at all the leaves on there. They're gonna be behind, but these guys have flower buds on them, so maybe we're not that far behind. All right, let me just scoot you around here. So yeah, you guys, that's kind of the garden. Lovely broccoli, onions are doing great, potatoes are in bloom, squash are taking off along here. Ooh, let me show you the cucumbers at the far back along the fence there. Cucumbers are looking healthy too. So here we go. Cucumber in there and along the back. This bean is not a climbing bean. It's supposed to be a bush bean, but it's like super tall. So in behind it here is a cucumber, and see its little tendril, it's hanging on, it's starting to find its way up. Same thing with that one. This one got ripped out by the squirrel, and I thought it was gonna die. Cucumbers really do not like their roots to be disturbed. But I kind of just like shoved it back in there and hoped for the best, and its leaves are green. So again, it might be delayed, but it looks like we're still gonna get maybe cucumbers off of it, like the plant's still gonna live. Alrighty, so nothing new in the bee hotel, nothing to report. But yeah, you guys, loving the garden, loving the climbing stuff. Thanks for watching.